Well, Suze van Meegen is a protection and advocacy advisor at the Norwegian Refugee Council. She joins me now live from Amman. Thanks so much for speaking to us. We know there have been severe food shortages in Yemen, but help us understand how it was assessed that this could be the worst famine in 100 years.
Well, we've known for more than a year already that 8.4 million Yemenis have been living with extreme food insecurity. And since then, we've been calling out to the international community. There is not enough food coming into the country. The economy is slowly being driven into a state of collapse. Public services aren't operating, and people no longer have jobs. So what we see now is a projection from the World Food Programme and others closely monitoring the situation that we may now be looking at up to 13 million people in a state of starvation. We'll see those figures in the coming weeks, but whether or not we are able to use the word famine, we do know that people in Yemen are starving to death.
Right, and you said you've been calling on the international community to take action. What has not been done? Who has not been responding, and how? What has hindered any progress that you've tried to make on the ground there to get food to the people most in need?
Well, I can tell you what has been done. What has been done is that Saudi Arabia and several of their allies in the coalition, the UAE, the US, and several countries selling weapons to them, France, Germany, and several others, have continued to bomb areas of Yemen. They've continued to drive people from their homes, leaving behind everything they have. We've also had the other party to the conflict, Ansar Allah, preventing humanitarian aid from reaching the people at the speed it needs to survive. So what hasn't happened is a sufficient response to stop this from happening and allow people to get on with their lives and buy food.
Right. So you've issued yet another warning. So how hopeful are you now that this 100-year catastrophe of famine can be avoided?
We need to be hopeful because there are millions of people depending on action from the international community to prevent this. However, unless we see serious action from the US government, from every member of the Saudi-led coalition and all parties to this conflict to put an end to the bombing, to create a ceasefire and to stop all of the actions that are systematically driving Yemen's economy into the ground, it's very hard to feel hopeful. They will bear responsibility for a famine that, as you say, will be the largest in a century.
Okay. Suze van Meegen, we will have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us from Amman.